This is not your normal company team bonding.
This is the best joint I've ever made. Probably not the best one at the table.
But for this public relations firm, this is how they do it.
So just throw the weed in the grinder, close it up, and just grind it up as best you can.
What is the purpose of this, though?
Part of our company culture is that we like to do team building activities, and working in the cannabis industry, what better way than to learn how to roll a joint?
And has everybody done it before here?
Most people. We have a couple newbies today.
Who's the newbies?
I have not done before.
That is Trisha White, a newly hired junior accounts executive.
This is my first job.
This is your first job?
My first real job.
And this is your first time rolling a joint?
It is my first time rolling a joint. A lot of firsts going on.
It's because of this woman, Rosie Matteo. She hired Trisha to join her PR firm. They represent 60 companies that all work in the cannabis industry and hope they can help weed become less taboo at other workplaces, too.
I much prefer, as a CEO of a company, to have my employees go out after work and consume cannabis and do things together, as opposed to, going out and having some drinks and coming in hungover the next day. So I think people need to look at this as just a different culture now. Cannabis is part of mainstream culture, and we're embracing that as well.
Just how big of a business are we talking about?
This year alone, cannabis industry in the U.S. will do $24 billion, according to estimates. 5 years from now, $100 billion. There are no other industries that are growing at this pace.
The receptiveness to marijuana is only increasing. This is the climb in America's support. 30 years ago, 16%. Today, about 2/3 of Americans. And now some major corporations are adjusting with the times. Amazon, the biggest, saying in a statement this summer, "We've changed course. We will no longer include marijuana in our comprehensive drug screening program and will instead treat it the same as alcohol use." In just today, the NBA saying it will not subject players to random drug tests for marijuana this season.
Companies are coming to grips with the fact that society has changed its view of marijuana usage dramatically.
And laws in cities and states are changing too. Here in New York, a company cannot fire you for using marijuana outside of work hours. And if you're applying for a job, that company, they can't turn you down because of a positive test. But most states have yet to grant those protections, and many companies are able to rely on federal drug testing laws for safety-sensitive jobs.
Federal rules require substance testing for certain kinds of jobs, like truck drivers.
Essentially, your message to employers is get used to this.
The tide is changing. People are choosing cannabis, and employers have to embrace that if they want great talent.
Matteo is paving the way for some other employers just to get with it.
Cheers.
All right, Vaughn Hillyard joins us now on set. Vaughn, I'm sure that was a fun story to cover. I think it's interesting that all of those people were totally cool and fine with us doing the story and appearing on camera. It shows how far we've come, I think, as a country with marijuana. But I'm curious, do the employers that allow this, do they find that maybe sometimes employees take it too far, they get high at work, come into work high, those kinds of things?
Right, and of course, these protections don't extend to being intoxicated in the workplace, whether it be alcohol or whether it be cannabis. At the same time, there are some certain jobs in which federal regulations will still apply. Truck drivers, subway operators, pilots. There are federal regulations in place. Even if you're in one of these localities or in a state in which there are these employment protections, some of those types of jobs, we call them, right, these safety-specific jobs, those individuals still are not, because marijuana is still illegal at a federal level, those do not apply to them.
All right, Vaughn Hillyard for us, a very interesting story tonight. Vaughn, we thank you for that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.